Working the phones here. It's Big Jim, Erin. We got BJ, Nick, and Brandon from the Charlevoix. Say hi to everybody right there. That's our little Mevo camera right there.
Morning.
Good morning.
We got everybody. We're all good. We're all in our places with bright smiley faces. All right, BJ, you got to get right next to that microphone. Don't be shy. I know you're.
He's tired. You can tell. He's like, I've been.
Restaurant people are
drinks.
all the same. This is you and rock stars, man. It's like this is not the time of day you want to be up, is it?
This is the ass crack of dongs.
Closer. Like you're almost like where it's going.
Crack of dong.
It is, yeah. The Charlevoix, though, we've been sitting here talking in the studio. You got to show the listeners some of the food, though. You brought bags full of stuff. We got food here. You
I
have
have
to
to
show
talk
it off.
about how I even met BJ here. Okay, so you know how we have Empty Bowls Detroit.
Yeah, love that. Yep.
So I was down in Eastern Market serving soup to raise money, and I was paired with BJ and the Charlevoix.
Nice.
And it ended up being to the point where we just had a bunch of cocktails and served soup. And I'm like, this guy is cool. And we got to talking, and been trying to make it down to the Charlevoix, which is located in Grosse Pointe Park, and I finally just went there Saturday. Wow. What amazing space.
Well, first of all, cool on you guys for getting involved in Empty Bowls Detroit, because that is one of the fastest growing charitable events in the Motor City. And you think about it, that's saying something. And for you guys to come out there and work your ass off, because once you get there, man, you're in it.
Yeah, it was fun. I did not know what to expect when I walked in there.
Yeah.
I hadn't been before. I'd heard good things about it, and got paired up with Erin, got paired up with a few other local celebrities, and we had a great time. And it was it seemed like a great event. I know it raised a lot of money for
Stay
really
in front of the
cause.
mic. There we go.
And it was fun. We had a great time. And ultimately, I was no longer serving soup. I was just serving drinks to Erin and the other people working back
Research
there with
purposes.
us.
All it is research purposes. Is that what
Yeah,
happens? Is
absolutely.
that basically what happens at the Charlevoix? Same thing, Brandon?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And is anyone really shocked by that when it comes to me? No.
No, it's research purposes, man. It's all for research, Dan. So opening a restaurant here in the Motor City right now, I was thinking about this. You guys open up in November. What is the arc, the timeline from the time you came up with the concept, what you wanted to do, to actually opening the doors? The conversation, I mean, and not exact dates, but just an idea, because there's so many people. Detroit is one of the hottest restaurant cities in America right now. Constantly people talking about it. So how long, what was the timeline like?
Realistically, the concept probably started about 8-9 years ago.
This is Nick, by the way. So you guys have been talking about it for that long?
Yeah, so in the area where we are in Grosse Pointe Park, it was kind of, at the time, there was no food options after 8 or 9 p.m.
Right.
And in the area where we live in, where we are located in Grosse Pointe Park, we have a ton of service industry workers, people who work downtown, people who work in Grosse Pointe, people who work in Birmingham, that work at all these restaurants and bars. And
Add in third shifters at Chrysler.
Oh, yeah, the plant's right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when
a lot of people that want to eat after
Have
9
a real
o'clock.
meal. Yeah, where you're not just
Like,
choking
sit
down fast food. You want to get off, and your timeline,
Exactly.
that makes sense.
And
Yeah, you want to have a real meal.
It started then, and it was tough because, the economy's kind of been just kind of like a
Roller coaster
in terms of property values. And then when our property became available, for lack of a better term, it's crap or get off the pot. It's like, this property is available right here. We are right down here. Let's do this. And it started off as a concept where we were going to do kind of just a bar and, simple food. And then, when Brandon came along, he made it opened our eyes to the fact that our original concept for food was just dog crap.
Wait a minute. So what do you mean? So like you guys, were you thinking more like, because I'm looking at the menu, and then we were talking before we went on the air, and Erin can speak to this because you were there Saturday, that, when you guys open, like the idea of bar food has evolved. It's no longer, and not that it's a knock, because I love, as you can tell, I'm 5 pounds from round. I mean, the potatoes and things like that and starches and stuff like that we normally see. But you guys seem to have gone to another level. Is that kind of what you brought to it, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, the whole concept was to make unfamiliar food more familiar to that neighborhood. There's some great restaurants around there, but no one's really pushing the envelope as far as like bringing food that follows the trend of what's happening in Detroit. And so we're trying to be like that bridge between the awesome food scene in Detroit and what's happening in the surrounding areas. So it was, no longer just bar food. We were trying to do something that was going to be more exciting and switch it up, make it more seasonable, or bring some seasonality to it. And we're on our way to doing just that.
What I love about the space, though, and this is what I told BJ, when I was there on Saturday, is it was an eclectic vibe, and the way that the decor is in there was like so simple, yet it was just so comfortable. Like you didn't feel uncomfortable in there, and I loved that whole vibe about the place.
Isn't that a cool thing, BJ, with Detroit right now too? That we're trying desperately not to be pretentious about our restaurant scene.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's cool because Detroiters, we just don't roll like that.
Right.
We've never been that way. So all of a sudden, just because we have great restaurants like you guys, doesn't mean, like Erin, you said it. It doesn't have to be pretentious and highfalutin.
When we
if that's a
started
word.
when we started building that, and we kind of let it evolve as we went. We didn't work with a big company. We kind of just brought in our friends and family who are our contractors, our whatever, and we kind of just built it as we went, as we were comfortable, and we wanted to build a space that you could feel comfortable coming in right after work in a suit and tie. You could come in after painting a house. You could come in after mowing the lawn. We just wanted to be that place where you come in, have a good drink, good food, and relax, and still offer that high quality that you could find in the city, but still have that neighborhood feel. And I think that we accomplished that,
Absolutely.
or we're on our way to accomplishing that,
Well, the po' boys alone.
right? And,
Hey.
Let's
We've always
talk
said-
about.
Okay.
well, I'm gonna let Brandon handle that one.
So po' boys is something that's kind of been like a passion for me for a while because I fell in love with the city of New Orleans at the age of 15, and I've just been on a mission to. That's really what inspired me to get to where I am today. Is like Southern food and that whole like New Orleans Cajun food movement. And been going on for centuries, really. And then going down there and having a true po' boy, and then trying to find that in Michigan was just not happening.
It's not going to happen.
And so we made it a point after I, decided to join in this whole project that I was demanding that we go down to New Orleans to do a little R&D.
That's rough. That's rough.
Research purposes, right?
Where do we sign up for that trip?
Yeah, right. So it was basically 36 hours of total insanity, of jumping around and really doing some due diligence, but also these guys had never had an authentic po' boy from New Orleans. I was like, listen, I really want to get these on the menu. You got to have one, So we get off the plane, we go right to Parkway Bakery down there, and they had their first.
I was about to say it's all about the bread, man.
Right,
It
right.
really is. It really is.
So going back
Well
to the whole
played,
bread
yeah.
thing, I knew that I could not achieve a po' boy up here without the proper bread. So after doing hours of research, I found a company that was willing to ship their product up to us. So
Seriously?
so we are truly getting our bread from New Orleans.
Oh,
and
wow.
Now the rest is up to us to just make it proper. So
The pickles, everything that goes into a po' boy. There's like, yeah. I mean, I spent a week one night on Bourbon Street. Pat O'Brien's, Hurricanes, went and got a po' boy, sobered up, and went back at it again.
Yeah.
And then it was
Yeah.
like 10 o'clock at night, and I had another po' boy.
it's like a po' boy is just like the refueling process.
Right. Yeah. It's like the Tesla of food when you're hammered in New Orleans. You just charge up and off you go, man. That's what you do.
Exactly.
So you got the shrimp, which you
Yep.
got to have. You
Yep.
got perch, roast beef. The smoked mushroom one,
Yeah.
He likes mushrooms. We've had this discussion about
I do.
mushrooms.
I do. So tell me about this. Sell
So-
us on the smoked mushroom one.
I think the reason the thought process behind the smoked mushroom is, I'm a huge fan of mushrooms as well. So,
Right.
but the smoked mushroom, it kind of gives you that like meat sensation, and we have it available vegan as well. But having the smoked mushroom po' boy just kind of was almost a take on like doing a vegetarian roast beef po' boy, but we're doing smoked mushrooms instead of the beef, obviously. Yeah, no, please. Let's,
She's food modeling over there
I
right now.
am.
So I don't know
On
if you guys are
Facebook
familiar,
Live.
but the roast beef po' boy is kind of the OG, like original
Yeah.
po' boy. And po' boys were originally made for, it was kind of like the poor people food, but
Well, think about it. Like here in Michigan, that's a pasty, right? I mean, that was like the people, the Yoopers, that's what they ate. That was their
Exactly.
daily meal. I'd assume in New Orleans it was probably the same way where you got a po' boy and that was your meal for the day, right?
And
Right?
Coney's
that
here were kind
Same
of
thing.
like the.
exactly.
Coney's fries in a pot, man, for a couple bucks is what you did. It was a blue collar you can get. You can tell the bread, by the way.
Look at this.
That flaky,
Oh,
it's all
my
that
gosh.
flaky
Yeah.
crust.
Yeah, man. This is cool. Are you hungry, BJ? Or are you just ready to go to bed?
Oh no, I'm up and at 'em now.
We're talking. We've got BJ, Nick, and Brandon in the studio from the Charlevoix. At the Charlevoix GP, the Charlevoix.com is the website to check out the menu stuff too, man, and the beverages too. Brandon, wait a minute. Who's Nick? Nick, you're my guy.
Yep.
You're the. Did you sample? Okay, what's the go-to with your beverage right now?
You know, we've got a couple of them. I think. I don't think I know. Hot Heat is the cocktail that's basically we go through tons of. You know, I'm a big tequila guy, and we kind of wanted to make our bar focus kind of like tequila and whiskey. You know, we got a lot of good stuff there, but for the tequila, I mean, this is a jalapeno infused tequila, which we infuse
Dangerous.
for anywhere from 24 to 48 hours because you got to be careful. You don't want to burn people's eyes out. It goes with a little blood orange liqueur. You got some freshly squeezed lime juice, a little cilantro, simple syrup. We actually throw a little crystal hot sauce in there, and then it's rimmed with tahini, which is Mexican chili lime salt. The way I would describe it to people is it's a spicy, sweet, savory margarita that'll knock you on your butt. That's our go-to. If you're a whiskey guy, we got a cocktail on the cocktail list called the Five Boroughs. It's kind of my play on a hybrid of a Manhattan and Old Fashioned.
Game on.
Yeah.
Okay, you got me with that one, dude.
See, did I not say you have to use my line right now?
What's that? We so have to go there.
No, it's
We totally have to go there.
There we go.
Erin is committed to restaurants in Bulgaria, so it's a lot closer. We totally have to go to Bulgaria and go try that food. We totally have to go there.
And so that cocktail, it's every cocktail in New York, all the boroughs have a cocktail named after them, like Manhattan,
Right.
Bronx. So I was like, oh, I'll just call it all five of them. Call it the Five Boroughs. And I was like, oh, it's a Beastie Boys album. That totally works.
Smart. Well played, man.
You sit there, you got some rye. I mixed it up with a little Amaro Montenegro, which is kind of like a sweeter floral Amaro. You throw a little Zucca in there, which kind of gives it like a little bit more smoke and malt. And then you knock it off with a little Orinoco bitters, which has got some clove, some cinnamon, and you just get this real well-rounded drink that's all booze and doesn't burn.
This is cool. This is my favorite part. Like, so Brandon, you with the food, when you start talking, I do have a smoker that I've used 8 times, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I totally enjoy it. But we can listen and go, okay, I get it. But when it comes to drinks, you're speaking Latin to me. It is really, but think about it. With food, I can understand flavor profiles and layers, and you can kind of take me on a journey and explain to me the sandwich or the po' boy or what you guys do. With drinks, you better know your bartender and you better know the person behind the bar because I have no idea what the hell you were talking about. It sounds awesome, but you know what I mean? There's there's how we're creating drinks now. My parents drank a highball.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right? That's what you did.
That's why we call him Doctor.
Paging Dr. Nick.
Well, the thing is now with this craft cocktail movement is that everyone's trying to. You first start off and everyone was going back to the basics. They were pulling out your Manhattans, your Old Fashions. They were doing plays on like the last word, when cocktails from their 40s, 50s, 30s. And now you've got so many great bartenders, especially in Detroit, that have come down here who are just one step in everyone up. What we're trying to do at the Charlevoix is you have the capability of doing that, but you still have your go-tos. We just want to make you a drink, and if you want to have
cool.
a cocktail on our cocktail list, that's great. We will explain it to you. We try to make it as accessible as possible. But also, I mean, people still want to have a Long Island out there. People still want to have a Cosmo. People still want to drink Boilermakers, surprisingly.
What do you mean surprisingly? You're damn right. Purple Hooter.
And BJ, what do East Side girls drink?
They drink Tito's and soda, unfortunately, but Nick's moving them off that. Nick's got a cocktail called the OU again. It's a vodka-based drink. I don't know. I've heard him describe it as kind of a sweet tart, but I've watched these ladies on the East Side rip through 4, 5, 6 of those.
Seriously.
And but that's what he does. That's what he does well. Nick takes simple ideas, same thing that Brandon does. Is I think what we do as an overall concept is we take simple ideas and really step it up, elevate it from what it was originally to something that you can really get a hold of, that you want to have more of, that you want to come back and check out. And I mean, these guys make my life incredibly simple because all I have to do is keep the lights on.
It's an honor.
And I mean, really, I don't question. Nick walks up to me and says, "Here, try this. It's a new drink I'm working on." Well, it's clearly going to be delicious. I just am wondering what he's going to call it and how long until it gets on our menu. Brandon, same thing. We have regulars that come in. They want to try whatever special he's running. He runs 2 or 3 a day. and they'll say, I don't care what it is, just put it in front of me. Like,
Okay, so you
and I
got to
said,
work in
we
a
got 3 of them today.
you got to work
I'll
in a
take
Big
all
Jim's
3.
house drink. It's got to have Tito's in honor of your dog.
Yes,
And
in
then-
honor of my 2-pound Chihuahua, who you can see his face.
Is there any chance you can change your dog's name to Wheatley? 'Cause
No.
That's what we're running as our just wondering.
My
Or
next
something
rescue.
Chihuahua. We could do work on that one. And then I'm Irish, so if you could work in Bushmills or something, that'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably just add some tomato juice to that too, and we'll do
There you
a
go.
great cocktail.
Okay. And our producer's from Brighton, so I don't. But he's a mama's boy. So if you could find something with mamas in it.
Maybe something with lavender vodka.
Or
There it is. There it is.
I'm in.
tears.
Tears. Oh, wow.
You call it a cocktail like Tito's Mama Bush. I don't know if that's able to put on the air.
Okay. I don't know that would run on Showtime after 11. Anyway. Okay, guys. Hey, man. Nick, Brandon, BJ, thank you so much for coming in this morning. And the Charlevoix, again, thecharlevoix.com, at the Charlevoix GP. You guys are on Charlevoix, Grosse Pointe Park. And I love that you're open late, too. You guys, like you said, the service industry is such a key component to this. And Erin went and didn't invite any of us, so we're going to try to get there on our own now.
Please
My
join the crew.
spot.
Is that what it is? No, totally. You came in just talking about it on Monday, and after meeting you guys, you made a huge impression. And again, we talk about the restaurant, but what you guys do in the community, the fact that you've only been open since November and you're already a part of the community doing stuff like Empty Bowls, it says a lot about your mindset, too. So congratulations.
We're excited.
This is
Excited to be
cool.
there.
This
Oh,
is cool.
thanks for
Thank
having
you so
us.
much.
All right, we're
Appreciate
going to
it.
eat a po' boy and do shots now.
Yeah.
Did you bring booze with you, too?
I got patted down on the way in, but I snuck a little past.
Yeah,
them,
our
so.
secretary probably took all the booze from us. She always does that. Thanks so much for coming. Everybody on Facebook, too. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.